Hey guys, welcome to my front porch on this extremely windy May day. It is just unbelievable, the wind this morning. Plus there's lots of stuff going on in the neighborhood, but hopefully you can hear me. So today I am beginning to tackle my front porch. There is so much debris that has blown everywhere after all of the recent storms that we've had, the hail, the wind, the rain. So now I'm getting ready to clean it up. There really hasn't been much point to do it before now. Actually, I'll probably wait to clean up a lot of it till later in the day when the winds die down this evening. You might remember what the porch looked like about 3 weeks to a month ago when I had all of those tulips and bulbs in bloom. It was really spectacular. It was beautiful, but now they are spent and I need to transition into late spring and early summer, so there's a lot to do. So I thought I would kind of very slowly give you a little idea of what it looks like now, lest you think it always looks pristine, because right now it's a mess. And the projects I'm going to tackle here, first and foremost, the window box, which is now very much overgrown. A lot of stuff needs to be cut back, it needs to be fed, and I need to replant it with some seasonal color that will go into, again, late spring and hopefully make it through the summer. I'm also going to then switch out some pots of bulbs. I had lots of tulips and hyacinths in the past and some daffodils. Now I'm going to put some pots of lilies that will kind of move in and out along with the sun. I'm going to trim up the topiary a little bit, stage it a little bit more differently. Some of the triple topiary that run across the wall, these are all boxwood. These need to be pruned and tidied up a little bit. Then I'll give everything a really good organic feed. I'm going to plant some caladium bulbs that I just got in bulb form in the window box. I'm going to test these out and see how they perform. So I'll give you a glimpse of just how it goes, but then I'll show you the after, and we'll do another little tour, and I'll discuss exactly what I did and what I might be doing in the not too distant future to make this a little bit more livable, because our front porch gets lots of traffic. Maybe not as much as it did before COVID-19, but nevertheless, Hubs and I spend a lot of time out here. So I want it to be welcoming, I want it to be tidy, and I want everything, of course, beautifully clipped. So here we go. So I'm gonna start with just making a big mess, basically. I had some cabbage and kale in here, and I'm pulling it out because the cabbage worms have had their way with it, plus it's just getting a little bit too warm for them. I'm going to take out all of this stuff. Will get thrown into the compost pile later, but I'm going to take out any of the spent violas and pansies, because in the south it's going to get hot really soon and there's just no point. The other thing that I want to do is any kind of annuals that I put in place, like these begonias, I want to make sure that they get in and they get settled before the heat hits, because in the south there's only 2 seasons. There's before the heat and after the heat, and I need to get these in before it gets too hot. So again, I'm just trying to that's pretty dirt, leave what I can in the way of soil in here, and I'm not going to do any more amending to this soil because I really amended it not too long ago, and I think it's going to be just fine. So what I did, and what I'm going to plant with a little bit later, or plant up a little bit later, are some of these dark pink begonias, because they echo. I love color echoes, you guys, and this color echoes the pink mandevilla that I've got in my front flower bed, which I'll show you later. Now, instead of buying a 6-pack, here is kind of a tip. This pot was on sale, I think it was at Lowe's, for $7, and what I'm going to do is just divide this pot, take them apart, and individually spread them out into the window box. So I'll do that after I get the rest of this tidied up. So in here, I have a combination of different things that live in this window box year round. So I've got some conical Green Mountain boxwoods. These are in here all the time. Yes, they're a little bit bare on the back side because the back side doesn't get a lot of light, but that doesn't bother me too much because from the front, you really can't tell any difference. So they'll stay in here for a while. Then I've got some lamium that really is getting overgrown, some variegated lamium. I've also got some of this in my front flower beds, and I like that continuity of the same kinds of plants from one area in my garden to the other area in the garden. I normally don't plant two different varieties of variegated plants together, but in this case I kind of did it by accident and I actually liked the way it turned out, so I'm just leaving it. So I've got some beautiful variegated English ivy in here. I've got some on both sides, and you can see that it is even starting to climb up the wall a little bit, and I like that effect. It will also be very easy for me to control so it won't get out of hand. Here's kind of a fun tip. I had some other ivy, just some plain green ivy that was growing out of the corner of the window box, and I decided that I wanted it to start trailing from around the base of this other conical topiary in this big concrete pot. So I just took some of the strands, some of the vines, and I secured them with some floral picks into this pot. Hope you guys can hear me. Into this pot, and later, once they've been there for a while, I can sever them from the mother plant, and voila, I will have a pretty skirt of ivy around that large concrete container. So the first thing I'm going to do, I think, now that I've got these other plants out, I need to see what kind of space I have to work with. All this stuff will end up in the compost pile. Pulling that out. So obviously the first thing I really need to tackle, oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. I also have this gorgeous lime green heuchera that has been in this same spot for, I think, about 5 years right now. And this season it's been absolutely spectacular, and I love to play off of this chartreuse color. Whatever I do in this window box, I will in some way continue down into the planters in the foreground that have some similar plant material in them. But back to the window box. So I'm just really going to cut hard on this lamium, and I'm really not looking to be really careful about whether or not I'm getting in between a leaf node or anything like that. I am going to cut it back pretty severely because this stuff grows like crazy. It's one of the reasons I like to grow it in a container, because it doesn't get out of control in the ground. In some areas it can be invasive, so you just have to be mindful of where and how you plant it. Finding more pansies in here. The other kind of common sense thing is, you guys, notice that I didn't blow or sweep off anything before I made all of this mess. I'm making the mess and then I'll clean it up later. And especially, no point in all this wind. This is Oklahoma after all. So I'm just going to keep cutting on this. Now, if I wanted, this would probably root pretty easily if I wanted to spread it around. It's rather aggressive, but it's very easy. It is very carefree. It doesn't get any kind of pests. It's not demanding. It's not too much of a water hog. It will grow quickly, so as soon as I shear it, it will come back almost immediately, which is why I always keep a pair of scissors by my front porch. So anytime I'm out here with my coffee cup or my wine glass, if it needs a little bit of trimming, I can do that. Now, this window box, you guys, is kind of famous. It's been in numerous magazines. It's been in Southern Living a couple times, I think. It's been in Garden Gate. It's been on TV many times. And in fact, I wrote an article for Southern Living and I'll try to post a link to it, about how you determine the scale of a window box and how you get it to match your house, the style of your house, and the scale of your windows. But I love a good window box. And the reason I like them on this scale too is because they're very charming and have kind of definitely have an English look and a cottage look, but it's not too sweet. And the older I get, the less sweetness I like in my garden. So I really love the structure of this. If you look at it, it is stained to match the color of my trim. It was custom built. It is well worth the investment. It has, you can't see it because it's covered up with dirt, but there is a metal liner in here to protect the wood. And underneath, it has huge supports because these can get very, very heavy. This has been here for, gosh, I don't know how many years. At least, I'm gonna say 20 years, maybe. And periodically, it might need a little touching up or repainting. But other than that, it's pretty good. So, at this point, I could put a slow release fertilizer in here, but I don't think I'm going to because I did that a little bit earlier in the season when I planted some more pansies, and I don't want to over fertilize, especially with this aggressive lamium. It doesn't need to grow any faster than it already is. And again, all of the stuff that you see in here now is in here year round. So all I'm doing is replacing the seasonal color. So my next step is I'm going to break open my caladiums. These are, what are these? These are White Christmas. Usually I order stuff, bulbs and things online, but these I just picked up wherever I was. I don't remember where I was. I was picking up a prescription, I remember. These White Christmas are green and white variegated. Again, not from a design perspective, something I would normally do, adding another variegated element to it. But caladiums are shade lovers, and this porch is very, very shady in the summer. Plus, they'll give me a little bit of visual height in the back, and I'll like that look. So these are going to get to be, let's see, how tall? These are going to get to be 12 to 18 inches. So they will be perfect, and I'm supposed to plant them 4 to 6 inches apart. Obviously, these don't, or not obviously, if you're a new gardener, these don't overwinter. So I'll either have to lift the caladium bulbs or just assume that they won't come back next year. Caladiums really like the heat, so you don't want to do this prematurely. If you plant them when it's too cold still, when the ground is still cold, they really won't perform very well. Now, it's important sometimes to just keep the planting instructions so that you know what to do. This says dig a hole to the required depth, which is always about 2.5 times the depth of the bulb or the corm, whatever you're planting. Set plants firmly into place in any direction, replace the soil covering the plants, and then water well after planting. So I think I can handle that. So I'm just going to kind of make a trenched area in the background here. You can see that this soil is pretty happy because I want these to be in the background because this is where the height is going to be. So I'm just taking them and I'm going to plant them about 4 inches apart. I don't want to get too close to my boxwoods, you guys, because I don't want them to shade out the boxwood any more than they already are. And I'm just kind of tucking them in. Not too liney because I don't like things to be like little soldiers. I should have put these all very nicely positioned on the windowsill because they're kind of hard to find. I think I'm going to plant some over here. Today it is in the 60s, and next week it's supposed to get up into the 90s. I think one day even 98, maybe. Okay, so I've got these in here. I've got 3 more. I'm going to turn them in. Oops. Put them in on this side over here. Pull out some more dead foliage. This is what I love, you guys, because if you do really good preparatory work beforehand, when you're ready to change out your seasonal plantings, there's not too much work that needs to be done. This is really good loose soil. And the reason that a large window box is important is because it really just emulates a small garden bed. By the way, it's one of these kind of picks right here that I use to secure the ivy into this big pot. So I'll just take a strand and secure it at the root zone like that, where it then sends out new roots to penetrate the soil and make another plant. So I've got those in there. Lest any of you think I was just extremely methodical about my gardening, I have now disabused that. Okay, so why don't we come back a little bit later and I will plant these begonias and you can see the final product.